Okay, so I saw this thing on Instagram recently that said like it was like a kind of wholesome self improvement reel, and it said like, "Oh, just remember you're in the midst of what you used to pray for," and it's kind of it's a reminds people to like, oh, take a step back and like be grateful for what they have. Um, and it's interesting because I saw that, and I actually do think I am in the midst of what I used to pray for. Like, I remember in my dating life, I used to really struggle. I used to find dating really difficult. And it's only something recently that I've really managed to solve. And, I look back at like, how I used to be like I wasn't never seeing anyone, I was always a single guy, wasn't really very proactive with it, my dating life wasn't really going anywhere, just always being alone. And how this changed in the last few months, where like I'm regularly going on dates, like I'm seeing girls that I'm actually like very attracted to as well. Um, and it's a really amazing turnaround. And you know, I've been thinking a lot about what's changed for me. But one thing I've really been thinking about is something. This is something that people used to say to me when I talked about my dating life and stuff, particularly of the sort of self improvement ilk, if they were from the kind of self improvement ilk. And I've heard people like Hamza say this as well, where they say like, so they'd be like, I'll say, oh, I'm not really seeing anyone at the moment. My dating life isn't where I want it to be. I'm alone. I'm single. I want to start seeing women and stuff. And then what they'd say to me is like, well, okay, imagine like the perfect girl, like the most ideal girl that you possibly want. And I'd be like, okay, yep, sure. And then they'd say like, are you in the position to date that person yet? Like, are you the kind of person who's high value enough that that woman would want to date you? And this is kind of a rhetorical question, and the answer is meant to be, oh no, I'm not there yet. I need to get on my grinds. I need to work out more. I need to earn more money. Work on my looks maxing, whatever. Stuff like this. So that I'm then in a position where I am the kind of guy that this ideal girl that I've imagined would date. But I look at it and I actually think like, okay, what am I really looking for in a woman? Like, what is my ideal woman? Okay, like, blondes, probably. I like blonde girls. Quite, beautiful, quite feminine. She's interesting. You can have like a good conversation with her. She's kind. She looks after herself. She has a high sort of sense of self-worth. We have common interests. Maybe she likes reading. Maybe she likes languages. She likes traveling, something like that. She dresses well. All these things, right? All these qualities that this ideal woman has. Then I ask myself like, okay, yeah, am I worthy of that? And I think like, yes. Like, am I perfect? No, like, I'm not. I'm not perfect. Obviously, I've got like a long way to go. Like, I'm not denying that. But at the end of the day, like, I would say I am. I'm in good shape, right? I'm in reasonably good shape. I'm not a bum. I've got a plan for my life. There are things that I want to get done. I'm out and about. I'm busy. I have a job. I would say I am attractive. Like, I'm good looking. I am. I'm a nice person. I'm not a dick. I. I've got things going for me, and it's like, how. Obviously, like, I'm gonna want to optimize and like, improve my life even more. But like, how long is this game gonna go on for? And I think at some point you're gonna be like, yeah, like I am good enough for that. And I'm gonna continue to grow and become even better, while throughout my life. And that's the trouble. There's no real good point where you could be like, oh, now I'm good enough to date that woman. Um, So I just think it's worth remembering that basically, unfortunately, in some ways, like you're already good enough, you know, to date like your ideal woman. And I just think like we've all had those experiences where we've seen guys um, that go around with girls that they, and it's like the guy looks less attractive than the girl, and there's like a reason for that, and it's because that guy's just thought, you know what, fuck it, I just, you know, I'm just, you know, he just doesn't give a shit. Basically, he's just seen an opportunity and he's taking it, you know, and we should all have the exact same approach. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm not saying don't improve. I'm not saying that like you're perfect as you are. Like obviously you're gonna improve, but you know, women aren't meant to date like the perfect version. You know, this is the big mistake of like first man's philosophy of like the male advantage. Like women, they want to invest in someone. You know, they want to see a guy that has potential. You know, and is going somewhere so that they can go like along for the ride. You know, I just think provided you got that, you know, like just get going. You know, like okay, if you're a complete bum and like you're, you know, whatever, you're really unhealthy, like you play video games, like yeah, I get it, but realistically, like most guys, like they don't realize how much potential they have, you know, and all that's changed really, all that's changed for me. There's some stuff I've done about you know destroying limiting beliefs and stuff like that, but realistically, I've just been like, fuck this, like I'm just fucking fed up of being single. Like I deserve better than this, you know. Like and just I've stopped putting all this stupid energy into improving myself. I've just been like, I'm just gonna get after it, you know. And like the girls that I'm dating now, like it's so funny. Like when I used to follow all this first man stuff, I was like, oh, I'm only gonna have a, you know, be able to like date a girl like that when I'm like in my 30s and I'm like really high value. What a load of fucking shits, you know. Like no, like there's not enough time for that, you know. Just take what's right in front of you. Yeah. So I hope this makes some sense, guys. As you can really tell, like I feel quite strongly about this. But I just hope that some of this just gets through to some of you. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. Anyway, yeah, as always, bottom link in the description. Doing some coaching at the moment. I would love to hear from you. But otherwise, see you in the next one.